Alright, what's going on, guys? gdoggcasey here, bringing you another StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm cast, this time featuring our red Zerg player, representing Team Unrivaled. He is the barcode Zerg player known as Mashu. And in the top right corner, actually the villain for this matchup, yet he is one of my teammates, All Inspirations blue Zerg player, Manard. Manard is someone who I've had limited communication with. I've talked to him a few times here and there. He seems like a nice guy. Actually, my third Legacy of the Void ladder game I ever played was against him, and he completely stomped me. And actually, speaking of that, this is a diamond level Mashu going up against a master level all-in Manard. So Mashu's already got a little bit of an uphill battle in terms of league here, but we've seen diamond Zerg players beat master Zerg players before already on my channel. So Mashu still has a chance, and while we wait for things to kind of develop a little bit, which sometimes takes longer than, or sometimes takes shorter than usual in a Zerg game, I just want to let you guys know, if you want me to cast your replays, send me a email at gdoggcasey SC2@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to cast your replays for you. Something else I'd like to kind of cover just for now, while both players drone up a little bit, is I've been having this really weird issue with my microphone lately, and I'm sure you guys have noticed that when I'm casting StarCraft games, my voice comes through like really loud, and I'm sure you guys have to turn down the volume on YouTube because it just comes through like kind of blaring, like almost speaker blowing sometimes. And I've been fiddling with that for so long, and I'm really not sure why it keeps doing that. Basically what I do is I go to my voice recording, I click on the little speaker in the bottom right, click on recording, go to my microphone, make sure I adjust the levels, because it always wants to, it keeps readjusting the boost levels up to max. And every time I open StarCraft 2, it would just readjust it right back to max. So what I've done here is I've actually turned off the voice chat for StarCraft 2, which I never used anyway. I think that maybe that might have been causing it. I could be completely wrong, and my voice could be coming through really loud here. So if that's the case, I'm really sorry, and I really need to figure out what's going on. But let's get to the the StarCraft 2 game here, as both players are expanding, but Manard is actually taking the expansion on the low ground, and Mashu taking the expansion in his own back end here on Vani Research Station. So this one happened just a little while ago, at least one season ago, when Vani Research Station was in the map pool. It is no longer here anymore, but anyway, give me one quick second here. Alright, sorry about that, guys. That cat, man, I tell you, that cat goes in heat like once every month, and it just never stops. And I forgot she was not closed away in a room, so she started going at it. If it would have happened later in the game, I might have just dealt with it, but nah. Okay, so let's see, what's going on here? Both players mining gas, actually at identical times here. Going to be getting speed at exactly the same time. Mashu getting his 2 queens out, 1 queen coming out for Manard, the 2nd queen already done here. So that's what happens when you go pool first. But overall, both players looking to be in a pretty similar position, except that Manard has his expansion in a little bit more of like a aggressive posture. That is a fight you usually don't want to take as a Zerg player, and the queen shoves back the 4 Zerglings. Did force out a few extra lings out of Mashu, but not too much. Mashu choosing to mine only 2 drones on gas. Now getting a Baneling Nest, which is really standard. Baneling Nest coming down for Manard as well. And so far, I mean, this game looks incredibly close here. Mashu, though, getting his Overlord caught out a little bit. This always sucks, because you know that it's not going to get away. And there's always like a little inkling of hope that maybe it will, but it won't. Not unless you have your own Zerglings on the field, which Mashu is trying to send over. Maybe, no, that's not going to happen. That Overlord is going to go down. And Manard smartly placing his own Zerglings in defense anyway. So nice play coming out of Manard. And unfortunately, Mashu loses that Overlord. So he just runs back home and continues macroing up. Lair coming down nice and early for Manard. And that almost immediately means that this is going to be going into a Muta-based play, so he can get those Mutalisks out. And now that he's managed to sort of secure this natural for now, it means this 3rd base out here is going to be way easier for him to take. Speed finish for both players now. Manard going to skirt around the left side of the map so he can try to get in here, I think, and get a good scout off. Meanwhile, Mashu doing the same thing, sending a Ling in, seeing what he can see. Fighting that queen. You're never going to win that fight, Zergling. Both lings going down. But nice ramp block here. Whoa, I didn't see all these lings coming out here. This is actually a beautiful play coming out of Mashu, because when your opponent's going for a lair, I mean this lair that started earlier, there's really not going to be a lot of defense here. Now, Manor knows this is on the way. He's got a couple banelings in position. And we'll see if he can actually defend this. Oh, pretty big hit there from Manor, and Mashu has to be careful. Another very nice trade here for Manor, and these two banelings are going to finish morphing in time. Whoa, once again, that always happens. Like, I talked to you guys in a video before about how technical difficulties have just been, like, screwing with me over and over again, and it never stops, man. Like, I'm moving my camera now. Everything is nice and smooth, but then occasionally it'll just shoot right to the left, and I have no idea why. And then with the microphone problems and everything, it's just like, sometimes it's really frustrating, but you gotta just deal with it. Third base is going down for both players, but with the Spire coming down here for Manor, and not much in terms of tech going down for Mashu, he's going to find himself a little bit behind. So he is making a Spire as well. It's only a little bit behind Manor, and both players have similar amounts of gas. So actually, this is going to be a pretty even game moving into the mid game here. No evolution chambers yet, I don't think, from any player. It's always a hard decision, like, do you want to make evolution chambers for your lings so you can, you know, upgrade them and have them stronger, but then have less mutas? I think most players will take the mutas over the upgrades, so it looks like that's what we're going to see here. This third base is not going to be going down from a little Zergling poke like this, although a few banelings are morphing in. We'll see. I mean, if he can get some key baneling hits, then maybe he'll be able to do some damage. But Mashu has more than enough banelings and Zerglings here to defend this. Huge swell of lings running across the map, though. Mashu is going to be able to spot this with an Overlord, so he knows this is coming. Oh, he's got to be so careful. That could have been so bad for Mashu, but actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But still, there's more lings here. Oh, oh my god. Baneling hits. So crazy. Manor ends out on top in terms of ling count here, but 26 lings are on the way. As Manor just getting a scout off. He's going to spot the Spire and realize that they're playing the same kind of game. At least I think he will. Yes, he did see it. So he knows what's up. Mashu going to be able to shoo him away. And we see Manor making just a couple extra drones here before he gets into his muta count. So actually, I think we're going to have a little bit more mutas for Mashu, but actually I'm really not sure. Let's just take a look here. Unit tab shows actually 10 mutas to Mashu's 1, but more are going to be popping. And this is where the game gets a little bit crazy when you play Ling Muta versus Ling Muta. You never really know how things are going to work out. It could be decided by one extra Mutalisk here. So we'll have to see. Now both players know what's up. They're getting the +1 flyer armor here, but Manord is way ahead in that upgrade. But a lot of Manord's overlords are going down, where Mashu's just haven't been spotted yet. Manord is playing a more defensive style with his mutas. But once +1 armor is out, he's going to start moving out here, and he should be able to pick up a good engagement. We'll see. Finally finding some of those overlords. And both players just trying to squeeze out as many mutas as possible. Mashu missing a little bit of drones on this gas geyser here. That could be a big deal. He's even missing drones here. Like, there's a way larger amount of drones out here for Manord, and at 100 minerals apiece, the Mutalisks are not cheap, even on the mineral side of things. So things are looking pretty good for Manord. Now, he was able to get that very nice economy up and going, although he's been supply blocked a couple times. He needs to get some extra overlords out. But he's finding himself in a much better position than Mashu is. If we look at the unit count here, 20 to 20 in terms of Mutalisks. Other than that, it's been incredibly close. And we'll see what's going on here with these red mutas. Fourth base going down for Manord. He's definitely got the late game in mind here as he continues to just make drones and drop bases. Mutas for Mashu are going to come on in. They're going to see what they can find. They don't really want to be fighting too many spore crawlers. as there's a nice little Ling run by over here for Manard. Spinecrawler's not yet finished. That one's actually, oh, no, not going to go down. Nice defense here set up for Mashu. And he's actually going to bring his mutas home and try to catch these guys off guard. Going to be able to pick off a few of the Lings. Not quite all of them, though. I think Mashu really wants to spot this fourth base, which he's coming up to now. There he goes. He sees it now. He sees the Mutaflock. This is going to be a pretty close fight here. Muta count is 26 for Mashu to 20. This could be huge as the fight commences here. More mutas joining the fray, and Manard knows he has to get out of here. And this fourth base is under fire. All the Lings are here too. There's going to be a cancel. Very nicely done by Mashu, and taking his own fourth base over here at the gold. Nice play there. These Banelings are a bit ambitious. They're not going to finish. And more mutas being squeezed out here with +2 flyer attack. A lot of mutas just popped for Manard here. His +2 armor is about to finish as well. This is actually going to be huge for Manard. Once his armor finishes, he's going to have a ginormous advantage. When we take a look at the muta count now, it's 29 to 26 for Manard, so Mashu has to get out of there. He knows he's got a deficit, but his fourth base is up. All he has to do is get some guys on gas over there, and he'll be able to catch back up in the muta count. And this is always an awkward moment where both players are just flying their mutas all over the place, trying to find a hole, trying to pick off overlords, trying to do whatever they can to get some damage done, but there's usually always spore crawlers in position, although this base is not very heavily defended. The fourth base is where the defense is at. Mashu's got to be careful. Let's see who's got the most mutas. 31 to 29 for Mashu, but the upgrade advantage is still in favor for Manard, so I think that's enough of an advantage to force Mashu away. He really wants to pick off this fourth base, though. We'll see. He's going to get a little bit of damage done on it. Mutas for Manard are running away. This actually is going to get canceled. Very unfortunate here, but Manard jumps on the Mutaliths of Mashu, and the upgrades aren't finished for Mashu yet, so this fight is not a winnable fight for Mashu. But that actual cancel on the fourth base was huge. And if we can get some guys in gas over here, which it looks like we are going to start doing now, then things are going to look really good for Mashu in a little bit. Really close game here, though. Both of these players are incredibly evenly matched, as we still do have a supply advantage for Manard, and I think that's mostly because of the early drones he was able to make. Zergling's coming over here. Going to spot out this fourth base. No spine crawlers in position. This base might get shut down. A lot of Zerglings for Mashu coming in to try to defend this, and actually he's been given a lot of time to respond to this, and I think eventually he will be fine. But the Manard mutas are coming in, and this is going to be a huge fight here. If Mashu can defend this base, things will look really good for him. This is so close. It's so hard to tell exactly what's happening as Manard is getting on top of Mashu's units, and I think Manard is winning this fight. I want to bring these Zerglings underneath the fight, and Mashu has to run away. He's actually going to send his Lings across the map. He knows his fourth base is out, so he sends his Lings across the map to try to counterattack, and there's no defense here. He might actually be able to pick that off. I think if Mashu had his own Zerglings underneath the fight, he might have been able to soak up a few of those glaive hits. And here come the Lings, though, for Mashu. Going to try to just split up and get damage done all over the place, but because he's doing that, I don't think he's going to be able to pick off this fourth base. Getting some nice damage done on it, but not actually killing it off. And I think it might have been better to just focus on that fourth base and just take it out and even things up, because now Manard is ahead in bases, he's ahead in workers, he's going to be ahead in mutas for pretty much the rest of this game. He's even ahead in upgrades as well. Both players have +1/+1 for the Lings, +2 flyer armor for the mutas, but with +1 attack coming in here for Manard, he's going to be able to catch up nice and quick. Another muta fight happening here, and yeah, things are not looking good for Mashu here as he's just getting picked apart by these mutas. Spore crawlers are in a pretty good position though, so Manard is not just going to outright win the game. And another set of Lings moving on out to try to take out this fourth base, and they might be able to do it this time because the mutas are far out of position. Queen going down, Some drones going down. Is he going to focus on this base before the mutas can get there? He's killing all the spine crawlers. The mutas are on their way, but I'm pretty sure this fourth base is going to go down. Yeah, absolutely. Nice play from Mashu to try to even things up here. And so far, this has been an incredibly good ZVZ here, as both players are just trading blow for blow in a Muta-Ling fight, which usually you see mass roaches versus mass roaches, but this is the other style that can be played that you just don't see quite as often. Maynard, a little bit upset that he lost his fourth base, looking for a fourth base of his own to snipe. He actually double expands here, one to the gold and one again at the previous fourth base. Mashu does manage to get his fourth base up, but here come the mutas that now have +1 attack. The upgrade advantage is firmly in Maynard's favor here. As the Lings are surrounding this fourth base, they will be able to cancel this fourth hatchery here. Oh my god, it's so close. And there's a muta fight happening here above all of this. And it looks like Mashu's actually winning this. He's absolutely destroying all of Maynard's mutaliths here. They finally decide to retreat. And that was a very good trade here for Mashu. And I mean, this game has been so close. It's ridiculous. Mashu actually has a supply advantage now. Sending Lings in. Again, splitting them up, which I can see the appeal to this. He's picking off spore crawlers all over the place, actually. And that could be pretty good, so his mutas can go in and get some damage done. But he's not doing a solid amount of damage in any one position. Got to be really careful. These mutas are in quite a vulnerable position. Some more drones going down, actually. If we take a look here, Mashu's been able to pick off 17 drones. He's picking off more over on this side, too. Just with Zerglings. And this gold base gets caught out here from Mashu, and he's actually going to pick this off. And he's really doing everything he can to pull himself back in this game. For a while, it looked like Maynard kind of had this firmly in the bag. Maynard is floating a lot of resources right now. And I think once he's able to spend this, things might go a little bit better for him. Take a look at the muta count now. It is 30 mutas for Mashu, 34 for Maynard. And Maynard still has that upgrade advantage. So I think Mashu is going to need a little bit more mutas than that in order to pick a fight that he can be confident he's going to win. Not going to be able to do any more damage here. Now, something important to note is +1 or +2 attack and armor is finished now for the Zerglings of Maynard, and his Lings are going to be way stronger than Mashu's Lings. Getting his mutas caught a little bit. A few mutas taking some serious damage. Maynard's done that a couple times where only half of his mutas gave chase, and he's got to be really careful that he doesn't just get pounced on when that happens. So far, he's been pretty lucky that that hasn't happened yet. So in the end, both players managed to secure a fourth base. Maynard is mining a little bit more efficiently from his, and this fourth base is just a sneeze away from being blown down. So Mashu's really got to be careful with the defense. That's why you can see all these static defense going down around this base, because he knows at this point when your main starts getting mined out, and even your natural, these mining bases are so important. And it looks like Maynard is just content to just max out. He's making 15 more mutas and getting some extra Zerglings out. Remember, he's also started +2 flyer attack, so once that finishes, just upgrades in all aspects of the game are going to be in Maynard's favor. As his mutas are now flying around the map, looking for things to pick off, he reveals where they are, and looking like he is going to try to put some damage on to Mashu here. This base is pretty heavily defended, but with all the upgrade advantages that Maynard has, I mean, things can be pretty dicey here. As that fourth base does go down, the mutas come to try to help defend. +2 attack is so close to finishing for the mutas of Maynard. And he's just being overly safe here. He picks off that fourth base. He knows he's in a good position for now, so there's no need to get overly aggressive. And Maynard is going to be looking for another base of his own to pick off, and he's going to find this gold base. That's definitely going to get shut down. Not even a cancel there. So nice trade for Mashu. But the mutas are now fighting head-to-head here. This is a huge fight. I have no idea what's happening. It is so hard to tell. But the supply is plummeting for Mashu as these mutas are just This is hilarious. Just going to town on each other, and you can see the blue mutas with the upgrade advantage are going to take the lead, and Mashu actually GG's there, knowing how far he was behind. I mean, we had 17 more mutas behind all this, as well as Hive coming down for Manor, but that was a very well played ZVZ from both players, and I got to hand it to Mashu for sending me this replay. Even though it was a loss, I really, really respect that. And guys, remember, like, you don't only have to send me your wins, right? So far, everyone has only sent me their wins except for this one, which is the first loss sent in to me from Mashu, and that's because he knew it was a good game, and it was a really good game. So thank you very much for doing that. Really appreciate it. And just as a reminder, guys, if you want to send me replays, send them to gdoggcasey SC2 at gmail.com, and I'll be happy to cast those games for you. Anyways, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this game as much as I did, and I will see you guys in the next video.